Hello, and welcome to The Deep Dive, your shortcut to being well-informed. Today, we're embarking on quite a profound deep dive. It's into a case that, while it remains heartbreakingly unresolved, became this extraordinary catalyst for, well, seismic shifts in how we protect our children. It's a story woven with threads of unimaginable loss, relentless advocacy, and the unexpected genesis of a system now so ingrained in our daily lives, we might even take it for granted. The Amber Alert.
Right. It's really a powerful narrative, isn't it? How one tragedy can echo through time, fundamentally reshaping an entire nation's approach to safety.
Exactly. Okay, let's truly unpack that.
And indeed, we will meticulously explore the tragic abduction of 3-year-old Rachel Runyon back in 1982. We'll delve into the immediate frantic investigation and the various theories, some chillingly plausible, others, born of societal anxieties that emerged over the decades. What's truly compelling here as we navigate this difficult history is how Rachel's case, despite its persistent cult status, directly ignited crucial legislative changes. And it spurred the creation of child abduction alert systems, first at a local level.
Well, locally first.
And then eventually nationwide. It really prompts us to consider just how much transformative power can one singular, devastating event exert on the collective consciousness and protective measures of a society.
That's the core question, really. We've gathered a rich stack of sources for this deep dive. Everything from original police reports and harrowing witness statements to meticulous historical accounts and detailed analyses of the Amber Alert system's evolution. Our mission today is to distill the most vital nuggets of knowledge and insight from all this material, not merely about Rachel's deeply moving story, though that's central, but about the enduring, tangible impact her short life had on the safety and well-being of millions of children who came after her. Get ready, because the connections we're about to uncover here, they're truly remarkable. Okay, so let's transport ourselves back. Sunset, Utah, August 26, 1982. It's a seemingly ordinary summer afternoon.
Right. And Sunset then, it was a small, close-knit community, maybe about 6,000 residents, part of the Salt Lake City metro area, but it felt separate, Yeah,
and this was a place where, tellingly, people often felt safe enough not to lock their doors. That really paints a picture, doesn't it? A sense of communal trust was just inherent.
Okay, that's crucial context.
So 3-year-old Rachel Marie Runyon, a vivacious little girl, she'd actually been crowned Little Miss Sunset the previous year.
Yeah.
She was playing with her 2 older brothers, 5-year-old Justin and 18-month-old Nathan. And their playground, it was the Doxy Elementary School playground, which was literally just 15 feet behind their family's backyard fence.
So close. Unbelievably close.
Yeah, right. Her parents, Jeff and Elaine Runyon, had even installed a convenient gate in that fence for easy access. Elaine was inside, preparing lunch. Keeping what she thought was a watchful eye on her children from her kitchen window.
Just a normal day.
It paints such a picture of innocence, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A typical summer day.
And that idyllic sense of security is precisely what makes the unfolding event so profoundly shocking. That detail, the unlocked doors, the kids playing mere steps away. It vividly underscores the deep sense of safety and community trust that permeated the time and place.
Yeah.
It highlights just how utterly unimaginable the horror that was about to descend upon them would have been. What's particularly significant here is that even with the diligent mother keeping watch, a suspicious individual managed to, insinuate himself into that space, going unnoticed for a crucial period.
Right, unnoticed.
This initial subtle breach of trust and safety isn't just an element of Rachel's case. It became a chilling harbinger for countless families nationwide, shattering a collective illusion of small-town invincibility.
That's a crucial point. Justin, despite his tender age of 5, later provided investigators with a harrowing account. He remembered a man, described as having a medium brown complexion and an afro, sitting on a slide. And here's a critical detail. This particular slide was out of Elaine's direct line of sight from the kitchen window.
Okay, so there was a blind spot.
Exactly. Allowing him to interact with the children without immediate detection. He engaged them, luring them with a classic childhood temptation, an offer of ice cream from a local spot called Bobco's.
Bobco's. And that detail, as you mentioned earlier, it really anchored the initial direction of their efforts.
How so?
Well, Well, it's strongly suggested he was likely a local, someone intimately familiar with Sunset's unique establishments, rather than a transient stranger just passing through. This wasn't some national chain, right?
Right, a specific local place.
So this localized knowledge, while initially helpful, also maybe led investigators to focus their search within a specific community context, possibly shaping their early assumptions about the perpetrator's profile and background.
Okay, that makes sense.
It provided a framework, however limited, for understanding who might have committed such a brazen act in a seemingly safe neighborhood.
So Rachel, with the inherent trust of a 3-year-old, mentioned her favorite, bubblegum ice cream.
Oh, heartbreaking.
Yeah. And the man, chillingly, claimed to have that exact flavor in his car. It's just such a calculated, awful bait for a child.
Absolutely calculated.
And then the situation just escalated dramatically, tearing apart that fragile sense of calm. As the children, drawn by the promise of ice cream, walked towards what Justin described as a blue Pinto wagon with distinctive wood grain panels.
A Pinto wagon, okay. Specific.
Very specific. Something incredible happened. Justin, the older brother, at just 5 years old, had this moment of, profound clarity.
Yeah.
He hesitated. And then, crucially, he warned Rachel about going with a stranger.
Wow, at 5 years old.
Right. And Rachel, for a brief, hopeful second, turned, as if to go back to the safety of her home. But the man, acting swiftly and brutally, grabbed her. He threw her into his car, the force of it just sickening, you imagine, and sped off, traveling northbound on 250 West. Justin, frozen in absolute terror, stood there with his younger brother Nathan beside him, helplessly witnessing the terrifying abduction of their sister.
I just can't imagine the trauma for that little boy.
Unimaginable. To comprehend the terror Justin must have felt watching his sister vanish is to glimpse the raw, unadulterated trauma that would haunt his childhood and fuel his family's relentless search for decades. Meanwhile, inside, Elaine, her mind on lunch, felt an inexplicable wave of dread. A quick glance out the window confirmed it. The playground was empty, but the children hadn't returned. That moment, she would later say, was when her world just fell silent, even amidst the rising panic.
And that raw, terrifying account from a 5-year-old witness like Justin is, as you can imagine, incredibly powerful for investigators to process, but also inherently challenging. Well, eyewitness memory, especially from young children during traumatic events, can be vitally important for initial leads, sure. But at times, it's prone to subtle discrepancies or suggestibility. And we'll explore how that played a significant role later in this very case.
Okay.
However, Elaine's immediate reaction, rushing to the supermarket the abductor had mentioned, then reporting it to the Sunset Police Department within a mere 20 minutes, that demonstrates incredible presence of mind and swift action under immense, unimaginable stress.
20 minutes, that's fast.
Incredibly fast. Her rapid response was absolutely crucial in initiating what would become a massive, desperate investigation.
So, upon receiving Elaine's frantic call, the Sunset Police Department immediately sprang into action. They wasted no time setting up roadblocks in and around the city, desperately hoping to intercept the perpetrator and Rachel.
Standard procedure, but essential.
But devastatingly, it was already too late. The kidnapper and Rachel were gone, vanished without a trace, almost as if swallowed by the Utah landscape.
Disappeared.
Yeah. Within hours of the abduction, recognizing the extreme gravity of the situation, a multi-agency task force of 10 investigators from several Utah counties was formed. Their efforts were later joined by the FBI, signaling how quickly this local tragedy escalated to garner broader national attention.
And this rapid, multi-agency response, even back in 1982 when communication systems weren't nearly as advanced as today, that truly highlights the immediate and profound understanding of the severity of a child abduction.
Right. It wasn't always like that, was it?
Not always, no. The FBI's involvement so early on underscores the national attention this case quickly garnered, elevating it beyond just a simple local crime. It established a critical precedent for interagency cooperation in urgent scenarios involving vulnerable children, laying groundwork for future efforts that would eventually become standard practice.
So the initial crucial details for the investigation came primarily from the children themselves. Justin, Rachel's 5-year-old brother, and a 10-year-old who also witnessed the abduction, they provided descriptions.
Okay, 2 witnesses.
Yeah. They depicted the man as a light-complexioned African-American, aged between 30 and 35, approximately 6 feet tall, with a medium build, an Afro-style haircut, and a distinctive handlebar mustache.
Quite a specific description.
Very. And the getaway car was consistently described as an older model 4-door dark blue vehicle, with wood grain stripes along the sides, resembling a Ford Pinto Squire station wagon.
Okay, the Pinto wagon again?
Detectives also discovered that the man had actually been at Mitchell Park, playing with the children and drinking coffee for at least 15 minutes before the abduction.
15 minutes. That suggests premeditation.
Exactly. It suggested a chillingly premeditated approach, rather than a spur-of-the-moment act, amplifying the sense of predatory intent.
And the composite sketch, derived from these detailed, albeit challenging, child eyewitness accounts, became a critical piece of the initial investigation.
Right, the sketch was everywhere.
Yes, but as we often observe in cases heavily reliant on early witness memory, it also became potentially problematic due to possible inaccuracies or misinterpretations, a point we'll definitely revisit later.
Okay.
You have to remember, 1982. This was a time when CCTV surveillance was pretty much non-existent in public spaces.
Right, no cameras everywhere like today.
Exactly. And forensic technology was still very much in its nascent stages. DNA profiling, for instance, was years away from routine casework. Investigators relied heavily on techniques like blood typing if any bodily fluids were found, maybe microscopic hair and fiber analysis.
Stuff that seems almost primitive now.
Well, limited, certainly, especially by the lack of comprehensive databases for comparison. It made definitive links incredibly challenging. Without a strong scientific anchor, these human accounts were paramount, making every detail, even a perceived one, incredibly significant and weighty.
So, faced with a missing child and an elusive abductor, the Runyon family, supported by this incredible outpouring from a rapidly assembled neighborhood committee, launched their own frantic search efforts.
They didn't just wait for the police.
No way. This was a true grassroots movement born out of desperation and an unyielding will to find Rachel. They distributed thousands of flyers nationwide, bearing Rachel's smiling picture and vital information.
Thousands.
Get this. They spent an astonishing $10,000 on postage alone within just 3 weeks.
Wow. In 1982 money, that's huge.
It's a massive undertaking. Then, a week after Rachel's abduction, Jeff and Elaine took their plea to the national stage. They flew to New York for a press conference and appeared on the Today Show on September 3rd.
National television, that was a big deal then.
Huge. They made a heartfelt national appeal to the public for any information. They offered a $20,000 reward, which was generously supplemented by an additional $20,000 from the city of Sunset itself, bringing the total to $40,000.
That's significant money. And these proactive, desperate efforts by Rachel's family to publicize her disappearance, reaching national media platforms in 1982, were truly extraordinary for their time.
Yeah, you didn't see that often.
No. It vividly showcases the profound impact of individual grief driving public awareness long before modern digital alerts or social media existed. Their poignant plea to prospective adoptive parents, urging them to verify a child's identity. That's particularly revealing.
What does that tell you?
It speaks to the depth of their fear that Rachel might be trafficked or, raised under a new identity. It's a raw vulnerability and a desperate hope for any lead, no matter how slim. It demonstrated a family's willingness to challenge every conventional boundary in their search.
Just absolutely heartbreaking. The frantic, agonizing search for Rachel concluded tragically on September 19, 1982, 24 long days after her abduction.
24 days? That's a long time in a case like this.
A lifetime. A family picnicking in the mountains of Morgan County, about 50 miles from Sunset, made the horrific discovery that would forever haunt them.
Oh, God.
Near Trappers Loop Road, in a remote creek bed, they found Rachel's body. She was nude, and tragically, she was hogtied.
Hogtied. Just brutal.
Yeah, meaning her wrists and ankles were bound together, often behind the back, in this cruel, restraining manner. Her small form was partially covered in brush and devastatingly severely decomposed.
Oh, the poor child. And the poor family who found her.
Imagine, they apparently mistook what they saw for maybe a doll at first, before the grim, unmistakable reality set in.
And the state of Rachel's body, unfortunately, presented immediate and profound challenges for authorities in terms of definitive identification.
Because of the decomposition.
Exactly. They had to rely on her relatives tentatively identifying her from a chipped tooth and ear piercings, an unspeakably painful and uncertain task for them.
I can't even fathom.
And crucially, the advanced decomposition also meant that the precise cause of her passing could not be definitively established, although smothering was not ruled out as a possibility.
So they didn't know exactly how she...
No. This lingering uncertainty about how she met her end, rather than that she did, created an enduring and profound challenge for investigators. It left a significant, agonizing piece of the puzzle missing from the very beginning, a void that continues to echo through the case today.
Rachel was laid to rest in a white casket, a poignant symbol of her lost innocence. It was adorned with her photograph, a single pink rosebud, and one of her favorite Raggedy Ann dolls. Her gravestone is inscribed with the poignant and powerful words, "She brought a nation to its knees."
Wow, that's powerful.
The entire town of Sunset, and indeed the state of Utah, was plunged into profound mourning, grappling not only with the unimaginable loss of such an innocent life, but also with the horrifying circumstances of her disappearance and discovery, and the chilling realization that such evil could strike so close to home.
And this phase marks the somber and painful transition from a desperate missing person case to an agonizing unsolved homicide. The collective grief of the community, coupled with the frustrating lack of immediate answers or an arrest, would not only lead to years of persistent advocacy by Rachel's family, but also directly fuel significant policy and legislative changes. These changes were explicitly aimed at preventing similar tragedies and dramatically improving responses to child abductions. It profoundly underscores how one immense personal loss can ignite a movement for systemic, societal change, driven by an unyielding desire to protect others.
A terrible catalyst, but a catalyst nonetheless.
Precisely.
So in the challenging years that followed Rachel's passing, with no immediate answers, several disturbing theories began to emerge about her abduction and the horrific circumstances of her death.
The rumor mill starts.
Yeah. One particularly chilling theory, so sensational, was even discussed on the popular show Unsolved Mysteries back in 1989.
Oh, I remember that show.
Right. The theory was that Rachel might have been abducted and tragically lost her life for a snuff film.
A snuff film. Good grief.
Yeah, based on information from an anonymous informant. It truly speaks to the darkest corners of human depravity and the societal fears of the era. However, despite the widespread speculation, police never found any concrete evidence of such a film ever existing.
Well, the snuff film theory, while terrifying and a reflection of the intense fear surrounding child exploitation at the time, really speaks to the limited understanding of predatory crimes prevalent in the early 1980s.
Okay.
Without advanced forensics or digital trails to follow, investigators were often compelled to pursue even the most sensational, yet ultimately unconfirmed leads. It becomes a classic example of how such theories can take deep root in the public imagination, especially when traditional investigative avenues are exhausted and definitive answers remain agonizingly elusive.
So it's more about the fear than evidence.
Largely, yes. It highlights the challenges police faced in distinguishing genuine, actionable intelligence from speculation or even malicious hoaxes.
Then there was another theory that, for a time, captured the public's attention, fueled by the cultural anxieties of the era. It involved a potential satanic cult.
Ah, the Satanic Panic era.
Right, exactly. This stemmed from a bizarre and sinister message found scrolled in a laundromat bathroom in Sunset. It read chillingly, "Beware, I'm still at large. I killed the little Runyon girl. Remember, beware."
Jeez.
And the note was accompanied by an inverted cross and the ominous number 676.
Classic Satanic Panic imagery.
Totally. And to add to the macabre atmosphere and reinforce this theory, black roses were found on Rachel's grave on 2 separate occasions.
Black roses. Okay, that's creepy. While certainly compelling and unnerving, this Satanic Panic theory, a profound product of the 1980s and 90s cultural anxieties, though thoroughly investigated, ultimately lacked concrete connections to Rachel's case. It really demonstrates the societal tendency to seek extreme explanations in the face of incomprehensible evil.
So likely not related.
Police largely dismissed it as a cruel and insensitive hoax, recognizing how widespread societal fears, often amplified by media, can influence the interpretation of crime scene details or even provoke copycat acts. It's a stark reminder of the challenges in distinguishing genuine leads from red herrings fueled by public hysteria.
Makes sense. Investigators also meticulously looked into known serial killer Arthur Gary Bishop. He was active in the Salt Lake City area and known for luring young children with candy.
Right, his MO had some surface similarities.
Exactly. They had to explore every avenue, no matter how remote. However, Bishop steadfastly denied any involvement in Rachel's case. And crucially, all his known victims were boys.
Okay, different victimology.
Right, making it an unlikely match for Rachel's tragic story.
So these early theories, while ultimately yielding no definitive answers or arrests for Rachel's case, they vividly demonstrate the extensive and often desperate lengths investigators went to in the absence of solid forensic evidence.
They data chase everything.
Pretty much. They had to cast an incredibly wide net, considering every possibility, even those with only circumstantial or tangential links, given the profound lack of concrete information directly connecting them to Rachel's disappearance. It showcases the relentless, painstaking nature of cold case investigations when primary leads dried up.
Okay, so fast forward. Despite the initial roadblocks and the passage of many years, the case was officially reopened in 2007.
Right, long after the initial push.
Yeah. Hopes, understandably, rested heavily on the significant advances in forensic technology that had occurred since 1982. DNA testing was conducted on items found near Rachel's body,
Finally, DNA.
with the fervent expectation that modern science might finally provide the breakthrough needed to identify a suspect. However, as of now, those tests, despite their promise, haven't led to a definitive arrest.
And DNA technology has, without a doubt, revolutionized cold case investigations. The inherent challenge here, however, is the age of the evidence.
Degradation.
Potential for degradation, yes, or contamination over such a long period. Even with sophisticated techniques, recovering viable DNA from evidence that's been exposed to the elements for decades can be incredibly difficult.
Right.
Furthermore, the exhumation of Rachel's body for even more advanced forensic testing has actually been considered by authorities.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's a testament to the unyielding commitment to finding answers for her family, even decades later, using every available tool, no matter how invasive. This constant push and pull between scientific possibility and the limitations of time and environment defines many cold cases.
Okay, so, more recently, two key persons of interest have emerged, bringing renewed hope and maybe an agonizing sense of proximity to a potential resolution for the family.
New leads after all this time.
Yeah. In 2012, investigators focused intensely on Melvin Joe Reeves, a prison inmate in Pennsylvania. He had been arrested in 2011 for abducting his own child.
Okay.
A situation that ironically brought him to police attention through the very Amber Alert system that Rachel's case had helped inspire.
Whoa, the irony.
Right. What's incredible is that Reeves had lived in Sunset in 1982. His physical appearance closely matched the original composite sketch of the abductor.
The afro, the mustache.
Potentially. And his family owned a blue car with wood grain panels, strikingly similar to the getaway vehicle described by the witnesses.
The Pinto wagon. Okay, those are some strong coincidences.
Chilling coincidences.
This is a very strong circumstantial case indeed, almost a perfect storm of aligning details. The confluence of his residency in Sunset during the time of the abduction, his physical resemblance to the original witness descriptions, the matching vehicle, combined with his later actions involving child abduction, it's undeniably highly suggestive.
Boy.
But the critical hurdle, as is so often the case in these complex cold investigations, remains the lack of sufficient definitive evidence, particularly a direct DNA match that could unequivocally link him to Rachel's passing and secure a charge.
So, suggestive, but not enough for court.
Without that undeniable scientific connection, even such compelling circumstantial evidence can fall short in a courtroom. It's a frustrating reality for investigators and families.
Okay. Then, in 2022, a new and particularly fascinating theory came forward, offering a completely different direction.
Another twist.
From a woman who believed her uncle, Joseph Lee Apodaca, or simply Lee, was responsible for Rachel's abduction and the devastating loss of her life.
Her uncle?
Yeah. She claimed he was a Hispanic man who drove a blue Pinto in 1982, and that he had even confessed to the crime while drunk in the 1980s.
A confession. Wow.
And what's more, she passed a polygraph test regarding her claims. Now, we know polygraphs aren't admissible as evidence in court.
Right, not reliable scientifically.
But they often serve as a valuable investigative tool to guide detectives and assess the credibility of a narrative. In this instance, it certainly added significant weight to her claims for the investigators.
Okay, so it made them take her seriously.
Exactly. What makes this particularly fascinating and potentially a major turning point is that Rachel's brother, Justin,
Yes.
when he was 5, his initial description of the man, he described him as Hispanic, not black.
Wait, what? Justin said Hispanic originally?
That's what this new information suggests. However, police at the time prioritized the 10-year-old witness's description of a black male for the composite sketch, a decision that, in hindsight, might have tragically misdirected the initial investigation for decades.
Oh my God. That detail about Justin's initial description is incredibly significant. Perhaps one of the most pivotal insights in the entire cold case.
It feels huge.
It powerfully highlights the inherent fallibility of eyewitness testimony, especially from young children during traumatic events, and critically, the potential for investigative tunnel vision when a single account is prioritized over another, even with good intentions.
So they might have been looking for the wrong person all along.
It's a devastating possibility. If Leah Padoka was indeed the perpetrator, this early misdirection in the composite sketch, focusing exclusively on a black male, could have fundamentally impacted the initial search, allowing the true perpetrator to evade detection for decades. And this Lee, did he have a history?
He did. Lee had a documented criminal history, including past sex crimes, and was known as an offender within his family, further corroborating troubling aspects of the niece's claims.
Okay, so red flags there too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he passed away in 2017.
So they can't question him.
Right. Investigators are now meticulously working to cross-reference DNA results from his daughter against crime scene samples, hoping for that definitive link. The police are continuing to investigate this mysterious uncle figure, recognizing that this new lead could finally, after all these years, bring some form of closure.
Wow, still actively working it. That's something.
Despite the ongoing agony of an unsolved case, Rachel Runyon's passing created this powerful ripple effect that truly transformed child safety measures nationwide.
The legacy part.
Yeah. Her mother, Elaine Runyon Simmons, channeled her unimaginable grief into action. She became a tireless, dedicated advocate for missing and exploited children. It's an incredible testament to her resilience and strength, a mother's love refusing to be silenced by tragedy.
Elaine's advocacy is, without a doubt, a profound testament to human resilience and purpose. In the immediate aftermath, there was this desperate lack of coordinated resources for missing children.
Right, things were very fragmented.
Exactly. Elaine became instrumental in the creation of the Missing Children of Utah organization, a crucial first step in filling that void. She has since provided invaluable support and guidance to countless other grieving parents who have faced similar nightmares. She often calls her tireless work a legacy I leave for my daughter, firmly believing that if a system like the one she helped create had existed back in 1982, Rachel might have been recovered alive.
God, you hope she's right.
That enduring hope and fierce determination continue to fuel her mission, demonstrating how personal tragedy can be transmuted into a powerful force for collective good.
So, in April 2002, nearly 2 decades after Rachel's abduction, Utah formally implemented its own Rachel Alert child abduction alert system.
Named directly after her.
Yes. The system was specifically designed to rapidly notify residents of active abductions within the state, leveraging local media and law enforcement networks. It was a truly critical step. And notably, this system was swiftly put into action in 2 very high-profile cases. Elizabeth Smart in June 2002.
Huge case, everyone remembers that.
And Nicholas Triplett in January 2003. Both children, thankfully, were found alive. The Rachel Alert proved its immediate life-saving value.
And the Rachel Alert was a truly critical precursor to broader national initiatives. It emphatically demonstrated the immense power and effectiveness of rapid public alerts in child abduction cases.
Proof of concept, basically.
Exactly. Its success in those high-profile instances, particularly the recovery of Elizabeth Smart, garnered national attention and undoubtedly paved the way for its broader adoption and the eventual integration into a national system. It provided tangible, undeniable proof that immediate, widespread communication could genuinely mobilize communities and save lives.
So it worked.
It worked. It fundamentally altered the calculus for law enforcement response to abductions. Its local impact laid the essential groundwork for what was to come.
So then, less than a year later, building on the undeniable success and recognition of the Rachel Alert, in April 2003, Utah transitioned its localized system to conform with the national Amber Alert system.
To standardize things.
Right, primarily to ensure seamless cross-state coordination and to standardize activation protocols across the country. The Amber Alert itself, as many now know, is famously named after 9-year-old Amber Renee Hagerman, who was abducted and tragically lost her life in Texas in 1996.
Another heartbreaking story fueling change.
Yeah, today, the Amber Alert uses this vast and sophisticated network, leveraging everything from commercial and public radio, television, emergency text messages, to electronic traffic signs, and even digital platforms like Google and Facebook.
It's everywhere when it activates.
Almost instantaneous, reaching millions of eyes and ears within minutes.
And the Amber Alert system, with its now strictly defined activation criteria requiring a confirmed abduction, a child under 18 at risk of serious injury or death, and sufficient descriptive information.
Right. It's not used for every missing child.
No. These strict criteria are in place to ensure that the system's power isn't diluted by overactivation, maintaining public responsiveness. It was born from the collective lessons learned from tragedies like Rachel's and Amber's, emphasizing urgency and community engagement. What's truly fascinating from a global perspective is its widespread international adoption. Similar systems are now active across Canada, Mexico, Australia, numerous European countries.
It went global.
It really did, showcasing a global commitment to this vital child protection mechanism. It's a profound testament to the universal recognition of its efficacy and the shared human desire to protect children.
And it's incredible to think that Rachel's case also played a major, if maybe less visible role in shaping foundational federal legislation.
How so?
Her abduction was a significant factor in the 1983 passage of the U.S. Congressional Missing Children Act. This was a groundbreaking piece of legislation that, for the first time, mandated additional federal resources for investigation.
More resources, crucial.
And, crucially, allowed parents to access a clearinghouse administered by the FBI for fingerprints and blood types of missing children, a centralized resource that was desperately needed at the time.
So connecting the dots nationally.
Exactly. Before this, parents often faced a fragmented, disjointed response when their child went missing, particularly if the case crossed state lines, leaving them feeling isolated and helpless.
And this act was indeed groundbreaking for its time. It established a national framework for information sharing and support for missing children cases, which was so desperately needed in the early 1980s.
A big step forward.
A huge step. Before its passage, the federal government's involvement in child abduction cases was far more limited and often reactive. The Missing Children's Act marked a pivotal shift in how the federal government approached these cases, giving families vital tools, a central repository of information, and a sense of federal support they hadn't previously had. It represented a fundamental shift from a largely localized, uncoordinated response to a more systemic, national effort, directly influenced by the public outcry and advocacy sparked by cases like Rachel's.
And Rachel's memory is further honored through tangible tributes that ensure her story continues to educate and inspire vigilance. The very playground she was taken from, Doxey Elementary School Playground,
the place it happened,
was renamed Rachel Runyon Memorial Park in 2016, transforming a site of terror into a place of remembrance and a symbol of ongoing hope.
That's point.
And in March 2017, Utah established August 26th, the date of her abduction, as Rachel Runyon Missing and Exploited Children's Day. This annual observance is dedicated to raising public awareness of child safety, the critical importance of community vigilance, and the ongoing fight against child exploitation.
Keeping her memory alive through action, these tributes, particularly the Memorial Park and the Statewide Awareness Day, serve as powerful, tangible reminders of Rachel and the enduring fight for child safety. They ensure that her short life continues to have a profound impact, not just as a tragic memory, but as a living lesson for new generations about the ever-present need for vigilance and advocacy. The creation of the Rachel Runyon Award for those who help resolve Amber Alerts further solidifies her legacy, recognizing her as a tragic but ultimately powerful catalyst for positive and life-saving change. These aren't just memorials, they are active components in the ongoing education and protection of children.
So what does this all mean for us today? The case of Rachel Runyon remained a stark reminder of a parent's worst nightmare. A cold case that continues to haunt a community and puzzle investigators, even with fresh leads and advanced technology.
The questions linger.
Yet from this profound tragedy emerged an incredibly powerful movement for change, spearheaded by her indomitable mother, Elaine. Rachel's story is inextricably linked to the creation and evolution of systems like the Rachel Alert and the broader, now global, Amber Alert.
Systems that have saved lives.
Which have undoubtedly saved hundreds of children from similar fates. Her story serves as a testament to the fact that even in the face of the deepest sorrow, there can be purpose.
Absolutely. The evolution of these alert systems, from local initiatives born of specific harrowing tragedies to a sophisticated national and international network, reflects a collective societal learning curve. a painful but necessary adaptation to a changing world. It highlights the indispensable importance of rapid public engagement and coordinated law enforcement in child abduction cases. However, as we've discussed with the various theories and the ongoing investigation, an unsolved case always leaves a lingering question mark.
Always.
Reminding us that no system, no matter how advanced, is foolproof, and that continuous vigilance and commitment to justice remain paramount. The shadows of uncertainty in Rachel's case underscore the enduring challenges of true crime.
And the investigation into Rachel's case remains active. That's important. It's a testament to the unyielding hope for resolution, with the substantial $58,000 reward still on offer for information leading to an arrest.
Still hoping for that one key piece of information.
Yeah. Please continue to hope that advances in DNA technology, or perhaps a tip from someone with long-held information who finally feels ready to come forward, might finally bring answers and a measure of peace to her family. Her story tragically serves as a constant, urgent call to action, urging us never to forget and always to remain vigilant for the most vulnerable among us. So for you, our listener, consider this. How do the profound lessons from Rachel Runyon's deep dive influence your own awareness of safety, the critical importance of community vigilance, and perhaps even your understanding of the systems designed to protect children today? What truly stands out to you in this complex journey from a horrific individual crime to a nationwide and even global system designed to protect the most vulnerable?
And perhaps extend that thought to the subtle shifts in societal perception, how a child's trusting nature, once seen as purely innocent, now necessitates a broader understanding of stranger danger and a collective community responsibility. The continuous evolution of our collective vigilance and protective measures, born from such profound suffering, is Rachel's lasting, though sorrowful, gift to us all.
That was a truly impactful deep dive, filled with both heartache and inspiration for change. We hope you found it as insightful and thought-provoking as we did.
Indeed. Understanding the historical context behind systems like the Amber Alert profoundly enriches our appreciation for their significance and the powerful human stories that shape them into the vital tools they are today.
We're always here to help you make sense of complex information and the stories behind the headlines. Join us next time for another deep dive as we unpack the crucial knowledge you need to be truly well-informed.